something?
What's
My
the
lord,
meaning of this
please.
interruption?
This is no
Jarl
time for
Balgrup
rash
is not
action.
receiving
I just
visitors.
think we need more information before we act.
As
Who's
House
this,
Carl,
then?
my job is to deal with all dangers that threaten the Jarl or his people. So you have my attention. Now explain yourself. You know about Helgen? The Jarl will want to speak to you personally. Approach.
So, you were at Helgen. You saw this dragon with your own eyes? Really? You're certainly... But it's none of my concern who the Imperials want to execute. Especially now. What I want to know is... what exactly happened? I should have guessed Ulfric would be mixed up in this. What do you say now, Proventus? Shall we continue to trust in the strength of our walls? Against the dragon?
My lord, we should send troops to Riverwood at once. It's in the most immediate danger. If that
The Jarl of
dragon is lurking in the
Falkreath will view
mountains...
that as a provocation. He'll assume we're preparing to join Ulfric's side and attack him. We should
Enough! I'll not stand idly by while the dragon burns my hold and slaughters my people. Irileth, send a detachment to Riverwood at once.
Yes, my Jarl.
If you'll excuse me, I'll return to my duties.
That would be best. Well done. You sought me out on your own initiative. Here, take this as a small token of my esteem. There is another thing you could do for me. Come, let's go find Farengar, my court wizard. He's been looking into a matter related to these dragons and rumors.
The Jarl has put out a bounty on some bandits. Here, that is an old tale. But long ago, there lived a mighty hero of the struggle. Olaf returned in triumph, and so, from that time until this. Ah, splendid. The history of Whiterun begins with Jorvaskr. As time passed, a thriving community spread. Today, Whiterun is the jewel of Skyrim. I can say without boast, well, there are 3 of them. The Plains District is so named because it's the closest of the 3 to the plains that surround the city. The inn and marketplace are found there. Most of the city's residents, Dragon's Reach occupies the highest, which we call the Cloud District. From here, the Jarl can see all that goes on within his city.
Farengar, I think I found someone who can help you with your dragon project. Go ahead and fill him in with all the details.
So the Jarl thinks you can be of use? Yes, well, when I say fetch, I really mean delve in. Straight to the point, eh? No. I learned of a certain stone tab. Go to Bleak Falls Barrow, find this tablet, no doubt interred in the main chamber, and bring it. An old tomb, built by the ancient Nords. Ah, maybe you just want to know how to get there. It's new. I'm sure some of the locals can point you in the right direction once you get...
Well,
must preserve some professional secrets. Ah, student of the craft. You'll need to start by learning an enchantment. Take an enchanted weapon or piece of armor, then once you know an enchantment, you'll need a filled soul. Of course, I have everything you need for sale if you... I'm not surprised you've never heard of it. But not anymore. The dragon far back in the mythic era. Many of the monumental ruins that still dot the landscape were in fact built as temples to the dragons. The details are lost, but at some point, the Nords rebelled. After a long and terrible war, the Nords overthrew their dragon overlords. Oh no, many were killed. Why, this very palace was built by one of I had you figured for a mage. I think you'll appreciate this. Take a look. Off to Bleak Falls Barrow with you. Oh, I thought you were already on your... I believe I am, yes. Technically speaking. Ah, that reminds me. Speaking of alchemists, I have some... Would you be so kind as to deliver the frost salts for me? Good. You're clearly better suited than I am to carry out such a menial task. A prospective student, are you? Well, I'm afraid I'm not much good at teaching. You should try your luck at... Sadly, no. My work of... Perhaps some hero will bring one to Dragon's Reach, like old Olaf when I won. What a fascinating conversation that would be. If I said that was a tedious question, would you be smart? As long as I'm left alone to pursue my research. Now, I'm a busy man, and your point... Of course, Jarl Balgroof. You seem to have found me an able assistant. I'll put it simply, so you'll... If the Hold is faced with any threats or mysteries of a magical nature, hopefully that answer will satisfy. I'm sure he will. What are you still doing here? I had you figured for a mage. I think you'll appreciate this. Off to Bleak Falls Barrow with you. The Jarl is not a patient man.
Whiterun will be
Neither am I, come to think of it. Oh, I thought you were already on your way to Bleak Falls Barrow.
got something for just about everybody in here. Give a holler if you look rather as long as you clean up. You know how a little wheat and blister wart make... We have plenty of ingredients for sale, too. Ah, splendid. Oh, but I suppose you expect some compensation. Here. These potions should suffice. Why? The Stormcloaks can rot in Oblivion for all of us within the... If I had a septum for every... Ah, so you're an alchemist, then. Come back anytime if you need a remedy. You've put together.
Foolish old. You know nothing.
I used to.
Take a good look around. Everything's for sale. On the one hand, but on the other, all that matters is that isn't it obvious? Not to mention my... but without a doubt, the most compelling feature of this fruit. Take a look. Do come back.
Once I've made enough... Before my ma and up, I met one of the caravan leaders, Madran. He said he'd help me get started if I could bring him a mammoth's tusk. Easier said than done. You'd do that? If you find one, I could teach you a thing or two about trading. About the same as everyone else? The way I hear it, elsewhere, yeah, these Khajiit make... It's got to be tough. Worst thing is, nobody wants... Reputation, mostly. A few bad apples spoil the bunch. You know how it is.
All I can think about is my son, my soul. Those battle-born. They're in with the... It's not wise to discuss it here. Please, if you truly wish to help, meet me at my home.
Chops and
I'll tell
steaks
the
fit
whole
for a Jarl.
story.
Come and see my selection of the finest ingredients.
Farewell. Those green apples you sold me the other day were delicious.
The finest... Some may call this junk. Me, I call it. Oh yes. That's why my brother and... He tends the store, and I've got this stall.
Still sell them all within a week.
You're right. I'll have to remember that the next time I get a shipment in.
Good hunting.
Life's hard enough. That bard Mikhail is begging for a dagger up against his throat, the way he goes on about me. I heard him boasting at the Bannered Mare, saying he'll conquer me as a true Nord conquers any... If you want to try, go right ahead. I don't think anything will get through that. You've got no idea. Half the men... They'll never understand. No one... Right now, all that matters is my daughter Mila. No man's going to get between me and my little girl. Oh, A bit of this and a bit of... Remember,
Best to
fresh fruit
forget
and vegetables every day.
Well met, kinsman. What brings you to Whiterun? Ah, so you need only ask about it. Plenty of folk in Whiterun with too much fat ain't sure if they're taking on new members. If by work, you mean testing your steel in bloody battle. Ah, the most important question of all, that one. You'll want the bannered mare. But mind the bard, Mikael. We Nords have a... But Mikael, he sings only for gold, and the... Aye, that I do. Our family... But Ulfric Stormcloak's uprising has divided. They are saying dragons have returned to Skyrim.
I work for Bellefield, the general goods store.
Come to... Oh, I tell the future, all right.
Got some good pieces. Yes, actually. How about you smith me an iron dagger? Here's everything you need to make one. Go ahead. I'd say we're prosperous enough. The city's ruled by the Jarl, but you're probably more interested in your rascal. Looking to protect yourself or deal some damage? Don't forget to check inside the shop. You need it, of course.
We'll keep Riverwood safe. You can count.
Welcome to War. We've got small weapons as well as big. Adrian. Place is named after her. War Maidens. It's a childhood nickname given by her father. Anyway, our wares are strong and the price is fair. That'll be the Jarl, Balgruf the Greater. Things are tough for him now, I'd wager. What with the fighting and the dragons. But Balgruf's a tough old Nord. Looking to protect yourself or deal some damage? Good doing business with you.
I don't claim to be the best blacksmith in Whiterun. Orland Greymane's got that on me. Man's steel is legendary. All I ask is a fair chance. That's a decent weapon you've made there. Have you met my father? Not bad, but it's a little dull. How about you sharpen it up? Just need a bit of metal and the grindstone over there. I help my father in more ways than people realize. Got some good pieces out. You think all the... This looks good. You put time into your blades, they'll serve you well when you need them. You want to keep helping? How about you make some armor? Let's start by tanning some leather on the rack. Don't forget to check inside the shop if you need anything. Out with... Ah, good. A lot of weapons and armor need leather for strap. Let's see if you can make a hide helmet. Here's the rest of what you need. I'll take my leave then. I'm waiting. I should hire you to be my assistant at this rate. Let's improve the fit. Take this leather to the workbench over there. I don't claim to... You have talent. Why don't you keep that dagger and helmet? Maybe you will remember me when you're making Skyforged steel, huh? That I do. It's a sword. I made it for the Jarl. Balgroof the... Listen, could you take the sword to my father, Proventus Avenici? Thanks.
Ah, hello. Yes. My brother... After all, he shot an arrow that pierced my... Try hold it. You should check in at Dragon's Reach. What are you hunting? Never mind. I don't want to know. Thank you very much for your business.
I know nothing of... I am an artisan. After all, where is the value in... If you change your mind, seek me out here. Walk always in shadows.
Do you... Oh, it took years, but I earned my way to the top. I own Chilfero Farm, see.
I'm as much a Nord as the next man, but just one more thing to grade. It's not my fault they turned their... And yet, they want to heap the fault on my... Battleborn is a name out of legend, sung in the songs of... For Clan Battleborn, we've got honor, wealth. Now, if that don't answer your question... Money, you... The Greymanes have deep roots in Whiterun, but so do we. Difference is, we're rich. And Vignar hates it. Oh, and they hate it too. All their big talk of pride. We've got the same pride, the same honor, and we've... Uncivilized pelt-wearing axe-draggers. It's true, the Vignar Greymane and his lot are one of Whiterun's old... But it's one thing to take pride in your lineage, and another to cling blindly to the past. What they call honor and tradition, I call ignorance.
Tell me, do you believe in mighty Arche, god of life? I'm glad to know that because I need your help. My amulet of Arche, I misplaced it in the catacombs. Without that amulet, I'm powerless to confront them. I'll just wait here and make sure nothing foul escapes the catacomb. With this terrible... As Whiterun's priest of Arche, I spread his word whenever I'm able. In the meantime, most of my hours are spent at the city's dearly departed. this terrible war. Oh, thank Arkay! Please, take this gold for your troubles.
I know your family's honor is important to you, but we can't afford it.
Rorik stayed a nice enough little hamlet with a boring
stop
poster
now,
for a god.
and I can't get the sword on my own.
So you're willing to starve your wife and daughter to reclaim some rusty old sword?
I just need to hire one, maybe two good men. You won't starve.
I'll put it plainly. You can claim your sword, or you can keep your wife. If you set foot outside that gate, I won't be here when you return.
Saphir! Wait,
My daughter Braith says I read too much. Play with me, Mum.
You tried mercenary work?
Learn how to take care of themselves.
My Saphir doesn't like that I've been spending so much time looking for my father's old sword. He fed his entire family with the gold he made using that weapon. I'm not about to let it gather dust in some thief's trophy room. I tracked it to a group of bandits nearby, but I'm no fool. I don't know why I'm saying this, but if you find it out in your travels, I'd be grateful to you. No, friend, that I'm not. No, I'm a Redguard. My family hails from the Imperial Province. But I left home when I was just a lad. Been wandering ever since.
Welcome, child. This is the Temple of Kynareth. The Gildegreen outside was planted as a seedling in the early years of Whiterun. Disciples of Kynareth could sense something holy in it, and traveled far to hear the winds of the goddess in its branches. Of course, not as many pilgrims these days. To the east of here is a hidden grove where the Eldergleam resides. It's the oldest living thing in Skyrim, maybe all of Tamriel. Our tree here in the city was grown from a cutting of that tree. You can still feel the glory of the mother tree through it. Even its name is an echo. I've thought about that. Trees like this never really die, they only slumber. I think if we had some of the sap from the parent tree, we could wake up its child. But even if you could get to the Eldergleam, you couldn't tap it. Not with any normal metal.
So sick. Can hardly stand it.
Eldergleam is older than metal, from a time before men or elves. To even affect it, you have to tap into the old magic. You'll have to deal with the Hagravens. I've heard about the weapon they've made for sacrificing Spriggans. It's called Nettlebane. The hags terrify me, or I would have gone after it myself. Your spirit is strong. It's held in a Hagraven nest called Orphan Rock. So, have you got... Indeed. The goddess is After all, it is she who... Someone... When the wounded soldier... As more of the... I wish only an end to the fighting, so that I can tend to the temple once more.
Are you married? You look the type. Make sure you treat your wife with the respect she deserves.
What's wrong, dear friend? You seem distracted today.
It's Nazli. He's been spending more and more time fawning over the Jarl. I swear.
disrespect the Lord or disrespect me.
We, your unworthy servants, give praise, for only through your grace you have come. Hello, my friend. If immortal life. In southern lands, he was known by the name So Great was. If you want to know more, because the oh yes. Well, I call it blessed. Well, let me tell you something, friend. Cyrodiil Isam. Let them come. I have no fear, for Talos is and deserve our praise you do, for we are one. And the 8 became 9. You walked among us, great Talos.
Old friend, patron of the great clan Battle.
If you wish to hunt with... Kodlak says not to worry about it. I worry that a bunch of snowberries are out there earning glory while we stay out of it. But I will follow the old... An outsider, an order of warriors, and we show up to solve problems if the coin... My mother was a companion, and her mother. I stayed with my father in the woods until I was old. Good training. Ma didn't live long enough to see me join, but I fight to honor her and all my sheep. We don't just take in any milk drinker who stumbles in. Talk to Kodlak if you think you have what it takes to be a companion. I'll take my leave then.
Got a lot of steel. Skyforge? Aye, man. Skyforge steel is all the companions will use, for good reason. You blind, boy? I'm a blacksmith. Any half-wit. By Izmir's beard, I ain't one for you. Why? Skyforge steel is my art and honor. Gods be praised.
Damn those Greymanes to Oblivion. They want to back the Stormcloak. Greymane or Battleborn? Then I say, well met, friend. More bad blood between the houses. For all you, there's no reasoning with these people anymore. Long live the Empire.
Those two at it again?
This should be good.
Strike when the shoulder turns.